Ladies and gentlemen, how are you all doing? It's your boy Fusion. Today I'm going to give you my opinion on the best perks to use in Warzone. Now, I just want to very quickly say that yes, like I said, it's my own opinion, and I'm not the best Warzone player in the world, but I will say I've got 25 days played of this game, and that's in total, by the way. I've played this game a lot. So from that, I feel like I've had a lot of experience in the game. I've played nearly 2,000 games in total of Warzone, by the way, which is quite a lot for the, I guess you could say, average player. I don't play this all the time, but I do play it a fair bit. And yeah, nearly 2,000 games. I feel like I've got a lot of experience in Warzone. So I'm going to give you my strict opinion of what are the best perks to use in Warzone. Hopefully you're going to enjoy the video. If you do, please leave a like. Make sure to subscribe and put the post notifications on as well. We're going to get straight into this, so let's go. Okay, so we're over on to perk 1. And personally, I have to say, either running double time or quick fix is probably the best perk to run. Now the reason is because double time, you can have double the duration of tactical sprint and increases crouch movement by 30%. Now this can help a lot, especially if you're trying to wrap around enemies and get behind them. Obviously when you're crouching, you're going to be a lot more silent, and on top of that, if you're crouching and you're going faster by 30%, you're going to be able to get to them a lot quicker. On top of that, but obviously double the duration of tactical sprints. If you're trying to, if you're getting shot at and you're trying to avoid enemies, then having, double the duration of tactical sprint, it's going to help out a lot. I think we've all had those moments where our character just stops running. It's kind of annoying. So, having double the duration it's quite useful. It's not always useful in all situations. It's probably not all that useful in Rebirth, but in Verdansk specifically, it can be very useful. Now, going on to quick fix, as soon as you kill a player, you immediately start health regeneration, which is very useful. Let's say you kill a whole team and another team decides the third party, you're going to be able to basically take on the fight straight away because you've got your health generation all the way back up, and it's going to be nice and useful for killing another team. I will give an honorable mention to EOD. Not something that I use. I very rarely use it, but you can take reduced damage from non-kill streaks, explosives, and fire. So stuff like Molotovs and grenades and stuff like that. It can save your life, and it can be useful. So it's not something that I would use personally. But the main two that I would use is probably either double time or quick fix. Okay, so heading on to perk 2. This is the main perk that is kind of like the most overpowered, I guess you could call it. There are 4 perks that are really good, which is Restock, Overkill, High Alert, and Ghost as well. Point Man and Hardline, they're not really that good in Warzone. I don't find them useful. I never really use Hardline. You know what? I've never used Hardline in Warzone. Looking at this, 25% off kiosk prices for kill streaks, field upgrades, and armor plates. I mean, it's nice, but it's not useful. It's really not that useful. There are better ones such as Restock and Overkill, High Alert, Ghost, and whatnot. Normally, how I would play Warzone is that I would get I would buy a loadout, so that's $10,000 in Verdansk, but it's also 7,500 in Rebirth. So I would buy my own first, and then we would get the second loadout, which can either be your Ghost or your High Alert. So the first loadout, I would go with Overkill. This way, I can carry out 2 primary weapons. It normally is either a submachine gun and a sniper, or an assault rifle and a sniper. In Rebirth, I run an assault rifle and submachine gun because I don't really find many spots or many times to be able to use a sniper. So I normally run an assault rifle and submachine gun in Rebirth, but in Verdansk, I always have a sniper. For the first loadout, yeah, I would get Overkill, and then the second loadout, I would either get High Alert or Ghost. Now, which is the best out of either Restock, High Alert, or Ghost? A lot of people are going to have different opinions. As of recently, I found High Alert to be very useful in many situations, but obviously Ghost is useful as well. I feel like in solos and duos, I would normally go with Ghost because that is kind of useful. But in trios and quads, I'm more likely to go with High Alert. The reasoning for this, okay, so when you have Ghost, obviously no one can see you on UAV or Heartbeat. Useful, right? The way I see it, if you're playing solos and you have Ghost, well, no one's going to be able to see you. Great. If you're playing duos and you have Ghost, and your friend doesn't have Ghost, then people are only going to see one person on Heartbeat or UAV. And that team may feel encouraged to push the person that's, showing up on Heartbeat, if that makes sense. So they might think there's only one player there, but you're ghosted, so they don't see you, and turns out it's actually 2v2, so it may encourage more gunfights, and yeah, hopefully that makes sense. If it doesn't, then just let me know and I can try and explain it in the comments a bit more. But for solos and duos, I would go ahead and use Ghost, but in trios and quads, I would more likely to use High Alert because yeah, like it says here, your vision pulses when enemies outside of your view can see you. And in trios and quads, you've got, 2 or 3 teammates to kind of rely on. Or maybe not rely on, but that kind of can help you, I guess. And so High Alert's quite useful for those kind of situations when you're playing in trios and quads. And yeah, Restock is useful as well. You can recharge equipment over 50 seconds, that's in Warzone. And it's useful. Because I'm not gonna lie, as of recently, I have been using stuns, and I know people hate them. People hate stun grenades, I hate them as well, and that's exactly why I'm using it, because people hate it. It's so overpowered, and it shouldn't be like that. And that's exactly why I use stuns. So Restock could be really useful in many gunfights. It can also, basically win you the game. If you stun the last person, you're probably gonna win. And finally, heading over to the final perk. What would I run? Okay. Now, there are 2 perks that I would either run. And as you can see, I've currently got Tracker equipped. That is one of them. Enemies leave behind a footprint trail. See markers at enemy death locations and hide the death markers of enemies you kill. That is extremely useful. Extremely useful. We all know how disgusting and how bad the rose skins are and the wraith skins and stuff like that. This almost counters it. Almost. If you see a rose skin, it's gonna leave, obviously a trail of footprints, and you're gonna be able to see where it's going. And so that kind of gives you an indication, really, of where they're gonna be. But I gotta say, Tracker is probably one of my favorite perks to run, and if not that, then I would probably go with Spotter, because you can see enemy equipment, and not only that, but you can hack the equipment as well. Claymores, proximity mines, C4s, trophy systems. That is extremely useful in certain situations. If by some weird reason, some people are using claymores and proximity mines, and they have a bunch of them on the floor, you can hack that, and if they walk in front of it, boom, they're dead. And it's extremely useful to use Spotter, although personally I don't use it all the time. But it can be useful in certain situations. But yeah, majority of the time I would run Tracker because it's probably the most useful out of the lot. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Make sure to leave a like, make sure to subscribe, and put the post notifications on as well. If you have any disagreements, please let me know in the comments. I'm glad to hear your comments. It'd be awesome to discuss what you actually think of the perks. What do you guys run? Let me know. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I'll see you all in the next video. Have a good day. Peace.